Hello again, everyone. Welcome to the most anticipated episode. Well, I say the most anticipated. This is our most requested episode. Welcome to another episode of Gamepassgrabbag, your weekly podcast reviewing games from the Game Pass collection, bringing you three unique perspectives from varying skill range. I am the Master Chief of this episode. Andrew, with us, our Chief Keith.
Hello.
Keith?
Chief Keith.
Yeah, I did say Keith. And of course, our Master Chef, Liz.
Hey guys.
I just want you to know, I do cook as well. I just want to throw that out there. You acted like I don't. I cook soups.
Andrew does not.
I do. I make a mean soup. But anyways.
Oh yeah, you said that in a previous episode.
Soup is my specialty.
But anyway, we are coming at you with our most requested episode. We have been told, asked so many times, to do the Master Chief Collection, but we could not figure out a proper way of doing this because I was like, this is, 5-6 games, if you want to do Halo 5. And I was like, do people really want to listen to, 5 episodes of Halo? Are we just going to lump it in one? How are you going to cover one game that literally spans multiple games in one game? So this is what we're going to do. We did Halo 1 Combat Evolved. If you want us to continue onto Halo 2, we had 4 people request this game. We want 6 people to request that we continue if you guys still want us to cover any more Halo games. So we figured, if people actually enjoy this and want us to keep going, you got to tell us to. So, Halo. So we already started a little bit. I had you guys play Halo Wars, which technically takes place before Halo Combat Evolved. But since we're starting the Master Chief Collection, I was like, you know what? We need to do this in order of the games we release. Because I want you guys to experience what so many of us have got to enjoy and have to do it with step by step for when we had to wait for the games to be released. So we start off with Halo Combat Evolved. You play as Master Chief, one of the last Spartans who wind up on an alien planet known as the Halo, and you are being chased by the alien race known as the Covenant, who is made of multiple different races of aliens that just have a massive hate for the humans and find it the religious purpose that the humans need to go, and they cannot land on the Halo because the Halo is a religious artifact to them. I don't know why I went too deep into the story because I need to get to... I'm getting ahead of myself because I'm getting very excited.
You were just nerding out right now. And I just kind of spaced out.
Sorry, I know. Anyways, I've said this multiple times. My 2 favorite game series are Mass Effect and Halo. So I was very excited to finally get you guys into this.
By the way, whenever somebody says Master Chief, I always think of G.I. Jane. Do you guys see G.I. Jane?
No.
No, I think, man, I don't know if I watched all of it. I remember it, and I remember, I don't know. Go on.
But, I mean, that was it. I just always think of that because they say it 1,000 times in that movie. And Demi Moore, woo,
Master Chief,
attractive in that movie.
Really?
She was not Master Chief. No, she was.
I'm so confused right now.
No, but there's a Master Chief in the movie, and Viggo Mortensen, but. Demi Moore. I always think of Demi Moore when I think of G.I. Jane.
I just know she's just got a shaved head.
Her head was shaved.
Yeah.
She looks so good with a bald head.
Yeah, I mean, I guess.
Anyway, we're talking about Halo.
Sorry.
So, going around, Liz, I want you to start off. Was this a Game Pass for you?
It is a game for me. I saw online a lot of people were talking about how if you didn't grow up with the Halo games, then you could probably pass. And I disagree. I think all the components of this game, like the story, the graphics, there are way worse in games that came out within the last 2 years. If you look at this type of game, the quality that's coming out now, this is very old. So you can tell. But overall, just looking at it as a game, not the particular genre, I think it's really good.
Keith, people really want to know, did you absolutely love Halo?
So I'm going to be the unpopular opinion here. I didn't love Halo Combat Evolved, and I'm gonna make sure I'm very clear about that. So I've said it before. I grew up a PlayStation owner, and I converted to Xbox on the 360. So I was late to the game when it came to Halos, but I always knew them. I always played them because I used to play them at your house, but I never played the campaigns. And gosh, did I hate it! I forgot how much I disliked the playstyle of it. We'll get more into it, but its age in terms of gameplay shows, in my opinion, and that's what drove me nuts. But outside of that, I know that as we get into the later Halos, I'm not going to feel the same way about it. I didn't want to play any more of this than I had to, and I didn't.
I should say that I actually played multiplayer with Andrew, and going back, I don't know if it's because, I just beaten the game that I was kind of just bored with it and I didn't really want to play. But yeah, I did play with Andrew in the multiplayer, which I think must have made it a lot more fun and a lot easier.
So for me, as if anyone couldn't figure out, this is a definite game for me. I absolutely love Halo Combat Evolved. I'm trying to look at this game and not like rose-colored glasses of, me as a kid when I first played this. I'm trying to think now, if I never played this game and I played it now, would I still enjoy it? And honestly, I think I still would. I disagree, Keith. I think it still holds up really well. Yes, there are some elements that this game does show its age. This game originally came out in 2001. So technically this is the Halo Combat Evolved Anniversary Edition, which came out in 2011. So basically it got new graphics, but overall the core gameplay wasn't touched. It was just more of a kind of a graphical rehaul. And yes, we are so accustomed to aiming down sights, sprinting. This does not exist in this game. This game was already kind of ahead of its time with just the shield that recharged, because most first-person shooters at this time, you just had a health bar. So there was some things about this game, that kind of show its age, but I still think this game is a lot of fun. And it has co-op. It's a 2-player co-op. I guess, yeah. Yeah, so it has 2-player co-op, and the co-op is a lot of fun. But yeah, I think we should just get into this, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'll tell the storyline for you.
Yes, I actually do want to hear you guys, because this is one thing I do think the game can kind of show its age. Did you guys understand the story? So Keith, tell me what happened in Halo.
So big ring, that's Halo.
Very
aliens
good.
angry. Master Chief kills all the aliens, saves the day. And I won't spoil it, but I guess he saves the day because that's what he does, and he's Master Chief. And is he actually a he? Because isn't it a robot?
No, he's
What?
I guess technically cyborg. He's I
guess cyborg is
robotic prosthetics.
Okay, cyborg. Yeah, I guess. Never mind. So yeah, I don't know. He saves the day. Cool.
I feel like it's just a very traditional alien story. Protect Earth, destroy the Horde, and that's kind of a spoiler. I was gonna say a character dies, but I mean this is like 20-something years old. I don't think people are gonna play this for the first time. You can cut it out if you think so.
No,
but I feel like that is like the traditional lineup. And, for me, the fact that somebody does die and I don't actually feel upset about it, I feel like they definitely didn't do too much with the story.
So Liz, tell me what happened in the story, because Keith obviously left a lot out.
I told you when we were gaming and you said I did a great job, and now I kind of forget it. So you are on the spaceship and the aliens can't get the thingamabob, and so you have to leave the ship, and then,
Okay, nailing it.
I'm really bad at describing things just like on the go, but I did a great job when we were gaming.
Kind of. I will say Liz kept getting people's names wrong. She kept calling Cortana Katana. She's like, so is that Katana? And it's like, almost. And then she kept calling Captain Keys Captain Keith. She's like, is this Keith? Is this Captain Keith? There was one other person you also kept saying.
No, you said, do you remember her name? And I said, no. And you said, what do you think her name is? It was a robot. And you said I wasn't allowed to say it on the podcast.
Yeah, you came up with a very inappropriate name for 343 Guilty Spark.
Oh.
So we'll admit that.
I will need to know about that off the air.
But, so yeah, the story, I'm trying to remember, I remember as a kid, for the most part, I remembered the story. Like, I thought the story was explained so well, but now playing it, even though I know the context of everything that is going on, I do think the game does show its age a little bit with its storytelling. Because once again, this game came in 2001, so this was the time of manuals. I remember as a kid, I read the manual and it explained, kind of the prologue of what's going on. Because literally the game starts with, you are in a spaceship, you jumped, boom, you're at Halo. There's aliens. They're evading your ship, and you're doing all these things. It's just like, what's going on? Like, I don't understand.
So basically, you're describing what I described.
I guess, but it sounds like it's like it started like mid-story.
So the chip thing, that was to protect Earth's location, correct? And then, so he had the option of destroying everything, or saying heck no, and leaving. And did he destroy the plane at the end?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did I do a good job?
No, because you lost Ray. Wait, he could have said heck no and destroyed the
No,
planet?
no, he was supposed to destroy everything. That was the only way to
Stop the outbreak.
Yeah, and he said heck no. He's like, I'm doing my own thing.
No, he destroyed it. He
He said heck no. No.
About activating Halo.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No, that was my my own thing.
Okay, so I was going to say one thing is that, just to be clear, I am well aware that the Halo universe goes way deeper than my stupid description of it. I'm not dumb, and I know that they've got books and comics and all of this stuff, so I do know it's bigger, but that's about the gist of it, and that's where I think as far as like this one goes, I don't personally think it's a must play if you want to get into the Halo series. Unless you want to like deep dive.
I understand where you're coming from, because you're not wrong when you're describing the story, Keith. But I think I think the whole universe and world of Halo is very good. The writing is really good. Like, Liz, you're saying it's a generic kind of alien versus human story. I don't think so at all. When you are understanding kind of what's going on, and there is quite a bit of hints in this game. So even if you don't have any other context, there's still quite a bit that is alluded to kind of in this game.
I feel like you're forgetting how little context there is in this one particular game. Like, I feel like you're looking at the Halo universe, and I'm just saying that it's starting out with this very simple-ish story. And I mean, I'm sure the Halo universe is great. And for me, if I was going to get into Halo, I'd want to play every single one, because it's supposed to be spectacular. I wouldn't want to miss one, even if I thought it was meh. But I mean, you just said like you were like looking at like the pamphlet when you got it, and now you have all the other games. But just looking at it like this, like, you know how sensitive I am when a character dies, and I was just like, that sucks.
Poor Keith.
Yeah.
Yeah, poor Captain Keith. But that's what I'm really saying is I look at it from two ways. I think if Halo had never become what it was and they just never made any more, this game would have been very generic. Now, people loved it, and for its time, it was something that was truly even ahead of its time, honestly, in my opinion, and I think most people would agree. So obviously, it became so much more than that. And I think, like Liz said, you're looking at this from the whole universe perspective. We're talking about Combat Evolved specifically.
You guys are probably right, but I don't know. It is difficult because I played all the games. I've read 4 of the books.
No, I know we're right. It's just
I'm trying to. That's why it's so hard for me, because obviously I played this in 2001 originally, and I'm trying to remember. And I remember me as a kid understanding quite a bit of what the game's trying to explain. So I don't know.
I didn't know that there were like a ton of other Halo games. I just played this one game. I would be interested enough to play a second.
For the story?
I also wouldn't be overly thrilled. Like, I wasn't hooked.
Okay. Just for the story aspect.
Yeah, I think it's interesting enough, but it just seems like the bare minimum you really need to get someone's attention.
Okay. I guess I can agree with that. But, of course, this is the thing that I think Keith really wants to get into, because he thinks this game really shows its age with this gameplay. And I want to know, Keith, what did you absolutely hate about Combat Evolved?
I mean, I think I already spoiled this early on in the episode, but I hated the fact that I don't have a sprint, because your character moves so ungodly slow that it just it felt like a walking simulator with an assault rifle. And it's, again, this is me coming from my current day looking back on this type of gameplay. Back then it wouldn't have bothered me, because I don't think sprint really it was around for most type of games, for first-person shooters. And then just not having aim down sight. Again, probably something I'm now spoiled with, and I just take for granted that it's always a thing. But not having that just absolutely drove me batty. And because of it, it like threw off the way that my buttons are set, and it just always felt clunky. Every time I picked it up to play it, I didn't feel like I was like having a smooth gameplay.
And it's funny, because back in the day, this game was actually considered fast.
Oh, and I'm sure it does. It does. And that's the thing I'm saying, is I'm sure I take it for granted now, but we're looking at this as it stands and as we're playing it today, and I just don't think that I would want to go back and play it if I didn't need to.
I feel like I got used to it fairly quick. I think it was the second level that I got used to not being able to sprint, because I remember a particular scene that I was like, oh wait, I can't sprint, and I didn't really zoom much with my weapons, but I felt like I got used to it. You know, like I missed it, but I stopped thinking about it after like the third level or so. But I also didn't play any other games in between. I just did this week, so that was kind of helpful for me.
Yeah, anytime I go back to this game, I do kind of forget real quick because I always think too, I'm like, oh, I need a sprint. And I'm like, nope, this game does not have sprint. For me, that's my biggest thing is like, I miss the sprint. But
or if the vehicles were faster, I think that would have helped. Those cars are so slow, so clunky. I can't figure out how to turn. I was doing the gun when I played with Andrew, and then playing solo, I tried it a little bit, and I was like, crap, I have to drive? I mean, the planes and stuff were also pretty good. Wait, hold on. I didn't say the cars were pretty good. The planes are pretty good. I like those, but some you can go vertical, some just hover. And I need to say, this is kind of graphics, kind of not. I had so much trouble distinguishing between alien and human with everything.
Yes.
I was like, the grunts, I understood. And also, like, Andrew had that add-on where, like, if you did a headshot, then it was, like...
The grunt birthday party.
Yeah, which was really cool. But, yeah, for the life of me, there were some times I was just like, I don't know if I can shoot this person, or is that an enemy ship? And then Andrew's like, all the ships are enemy ships. And I was like, oh, but look like the one they came in on.
I do think it's so funny because literally almost all the humans are wearing, like, gray and white. And all the aliens are like blue and purple and orange. Like they're very
Same with the
fluorescent
guns.
colors.
I kept forgetting what the shotgun looked like, what the assault rifle looked like.
Yeah.
And
So it literally looks like a shotgun and a machine gun.
I also like too that the game with co-op is very forgiving.
Yeah.
But I will say that I was very stern with Andrew. If I died, I was like, you do not take my shotgun. You not take my ammo. I shoot a lot. And so I got a little feisty.
Liz needed to be max ammo at all times.
If I fell over and then because you lose everything, I was pretty
she was straight up pissed.
Oh, I wasn't sure if I could say pissed.
She was getting angry.
But there was one time that I was switching in between the graphics, which was so much fun. And I didn't realize I was like right on a ledge. And it kind of made me die. And I was like, well, I need to be more careful with that.
Yeah. Okay. So I think there's a lot of points I think you're very valid, Liz. Graphics, not so much. But as far as the vehicle, the Warthog's very infamous in this game for being super wonky. I remember as a kid, I thought it was the coolest thing because, you know, most games, right trigger's drive, like acceleration, left trigger is, you know, deceleration or reverse. But this game, you're driving with the analog sticks, and it's weird. And the Warthog, for whatever reason, is just super floaty, like you're constantly driving on ice. I love it though. Like I remember just as a kid playing co-op with my brother and just how much fun it was to play in that vehicle. And it's still a ton of fun playing with you. I tell you, I'm like, you know, the gun doesn't overheat. You have unlimited bullets, so just go to town. And you were still conserve bullets. You're like, I don't know if I should shoot. And I'm like, just shoot everything. Don't worry, just shoot everything. And you're like, okay, I think I'll start shooting now.
But I just think that the vehicles, like they were just so clunky. Like with the Warthog and stuff, it was just so much more fun. I didn't have fun driving the car at all. I'll tell you that. But I had fun in the planes. Or spaceships. Sorry, you get offended if I say planes.
No, you kept saying planes to all of the alien vehicles.
Yeah.
The tank, the ghost.
No, I did not say them to the
Yes, you
land
did.
ones. No.
You were driving the ghost and you were like, why aren't I flying? And I'm like, because it's not a flying vehicle.
It's a hover. It hovers over the ground,
hovers,
which
but
means
doesn't-
it is not a car. It is more like a plane.
I can't argue that. I mean, it's closer to a plane than it is a car.
I know that actually. I guess that
but
actually is a
still
valid
not a
argument.
plane. So the funny thing is, I agree with you 100% on the vehicles. I think the vehicles are tons of fun in Halo, and it's always been one of my favorite things about any of the Halo games. And I like that still. If you go in, I haven't played Halo Infinite campaign yet, but at least as far as I know, in any of the new Halos, well, actually, I've driven the Warthog in multiplayer. It's still the same thing, like, and it still just makes
It's better.
Well, yeah, it's
better.
tighter, but it's the same concept, and it's still just very loosey goosey, and like the back just kicks out on you, not for no reason, but I don't know. You kind of just try, but it's not even like bad. It's just it's different and it's unique, and there's something special about it. And I like all of the vehicles for that matter. I just could not stand how slow I would run, and just it was driving me bonkers.
I will say, yeah, there's a couple levels where, you know, you're supposed to be driving a vehicle. And yeah, if you lose your vehicle, it is a nightmare to be walking. Like, there's a couple segments. Yeah, we drive a Ghost. I forgot about this, that the alien vehicles are destructible, but the human vehicles are indestructible. So yeah, every once in a while I'll be like, I'm going to take a Ghost instead. And then it ends up getting destroyed. I'm like, crap, no, I got to walk for 10 miles.
Well, you also pointed out to me that you can take some of the vehicles where you're not supposed to go, which also makes it faster.
And that is a very Halo player thing to do, is to try to shove vehicles in corridors that they're not supposed to go because you want to keep bringing that Warthog with you.
Oh, heck yeah.
I also want to touch on something that I mentioned earlier, how I fell off the cliff when I switched graphics. I just didn't realize that it was behind me. But anyways, so Andrew, you pointed out that when you're in the old graphics, you see the wall, but in the new graphics, you're like shooting at nothing. Am I explaining that right?
Yeah. I mean, I was going to wait for the graphics segment on this.
But I already brought it up, so I figured, why not?
So this is the Anniversary Edition. And the cool thing about the Anniversary Edition is every time you hit the back button, while you're mid-game, it switches the graphics from original to the Anniversary Edition. I am not a fan of the Anniversary graphics. They're nice looking. The character models are pretty cool. I like the guns, the visual effects. They did a pretty good job. But the only thing that stinks is you're actually playing the base game. So you're playing like the original Halo. And so what they did with the Anniversary graphics, so let's say you're hiding behind, you know, in the original Halo, it's a cube. All right, so 4 corners, you know, it's a cube. But if you switch to the Anniversary graphics, they may have changed that cube into a triangle. So if you're trying to shoot around one of the corners because you think it's a triangle, but in all reality, it's actually programmed that it's a cube. So sometimes you'll be shooting and you're hitting nothing. And it's because there's actually supposed to be a corner there. So the Anniversary graphics just constantly threw me off. And it's the worst when you're like sniping, or there's been a couple times where I threw a grenade and the grenade ends up bouncing back at me and killing me. So the Anniversary graphics I thought looked nice, but they just annoyed me.
I'm curious if that's part of what my issue was, is that I was running into, is because I was running the Anniversary graphics, and it's funny because I knew that they had been polished over, because I was like, there's just no way it looked this good when it came out. I didn't remember even really what it looked like, but I knew it didn't look like that. So I knew it was polished, but I didn't know I could switch back and forth until you told me. But yeah, I was just on the Anniversary graphics pretty much the whole time. And yeah, I was struggle bussing in a lot of ways that I didn't think I would. So I'm curious if that impacted me.
Keith, I was also curious. What was your favorite weapon or weapon combo?
I mean, I run assault rifle and the shotgun generally if I can keep both of them. But I really like all of the guns for the most part. I think they're fun. Except I always want to like the Needler, but I always hate the Needler.
The Needler, I think, is more useful if you play on Legendary Edition.
Yeah.
Because you can kind of turn the powerful enemies into still kind of a one-hit kill.
Okay, that makes sense.
What's the Needler?
It was the purple gun that shot needles.
It kind of looked like a porcupine.
Hey, I love the guns in Halo. The assault rifle in this game, I think, is the worst the assault rifle ever is. Hate the assault rifle in Halo Combat Evolved. The pistol is infamously known to be one of the most overpowered guns in like almost any first-person shooter. And it was like a little kind of Easter egg. A lot of the developers didn't realize how powerful the gun was. Literally, the story is like literally last day before the game was shipped, one of the programmers like increased the damage of the pistol and didn't tell anyone. So the pistol in Halo Combat Evolved is so crazy powerful. I think it's like, if you play versus multiplayer, it's like 4 shots will kill someone. It's an instant headshot for all grunts. It's an instant back kill if you shoot a hunter square in the back. So the pistol is stupid overpowered. Always have a pistol on you.
I didn't know that it was actually like ridiculously overpowered. I do remember it being like good for being like, well, it's a pistol. I shouldn't be this good with this. I never knew it was like actually overpowered though. Like legitimately.
Yeah. You shoot a hunter right in the back, one shot, dead.
Fun fact that I didn't know about Halo.
So yeah, and same with the shotgun. The shotgun has like a 20 bullet clip. Like you can just go to town with that shotgun. I love the shotgun. The alien weapons I think were fine, but the Needler is cool, but then you just got the plasma pistol and the plasma rifle. Like this was before they really started to have fun with the alien weapons.
That's right.
So they're just kind of generic.
The carbine? Because I kept hoping to find one.
Yes.
And I was so bummed that I couldn't find one, and that makes sense now.
Yeah. So yeah, the weapons are pretty generic.
Because I hated the sniper in this too, but I'm also just kind of hate snipers in general. I am not
The sniper honestly is the same in just about all the Halos.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I suck at snipers, and something about the Halo one has never sat well with me, so I don't use it. I know it's strong. I suck with it, so I don't use it.
I feel like I just charge in shooting. So for me, I feel like it'd be a waste of a slot to have the sniper, especially because I feel like there's so many corners and stuff that people are jumping out of. I think I would have been terrible with it.
I mean, there's like the beginning of that one level where you start with it and you're trying to be sneaky on the third level.
Oh yeah.
Speaking of levels, though, what did you guys think of I'm actually more want to hear from you, Keith, because I was trying so hard not with Liz, because I've obviously played this game so many times. I was trying not to lead with Liz, and I wanted to see how she could do navigating. But how well did you navigate, Keith, being by yourself?
So I only got through a couple levels on my current playthrough. Like I've played this apparently a lot more than I realized at a previous time, but I honestly played the last 2 levels. Was about as much as I played this time around. I'm just being completely honest. So the navigation wise, I felt fine with it, but it was that keys level that I was telling you about, and it was just like all corridors, and oh man, it was driving me batty. It was a very flood heavy level, and I was not enjoying myself in the least. But yeah, like I didn't struggle with navigation, at least just staying alive.
Okay. What about you, Liz? Did you like the levels?
I did. For me, I did like going in first because playing co-op, I was always afraid that I was going to accidentally shoot you, which I did with a shotgun.
Yeah.
But when you told me about like the green on the doors, I'm just very unobservant. And so I would have been lost if I didn't play with you, especially like when we were like in the outside levels. I was like, where am I going?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I also didn't like with the co-op. I was constantly being like, is it rubber banding?
No, it teleports you.
It teleports you, but it also does it so that I'm like facing a wall when the enemies are there. And so that was really annoying as well, being behind Andrew. So leading is actually better because I don't have to worry about them like whipping me around.
Oh, does it do that weird thing where it like won't let you get so far apart in multiplayer that it like pulls you?
Yeah, but sometimes it's a foot. Sometimes it's like if you're in the other room, I get it. But I'll be walking right behind Andrew. Like in the game, it's like the length of a person, and it'll just randomly do it.
There's designated checkpoints where we do it.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Yeah, because it's very subtle with its checkpoints and all that, which is actually again for its time very impressive. Like
there was very little loading in this game.
It's now playing on this, but that's how I remember it playing when I used to watch you guys play it, or just like playing it whenever I did way back. Like it was a smooth thing, and so I give it a lot of credit for that, obviously.
Yeah, the original Halo, it always would load more of the level while you're playing the game. So then when you actually got progressively farther in level and hit that checkpoint, it was already there. So you never had to do a lot of loading segments, which was really impressive for the time. But obviously, as Keith said, it's just instantaneous anyway now. But I do think it's interesting. I don't know if you guys noticed, but like I more noticed it playing again now. There's 10 chapters, like there's 10 levels you do. And honestly, a lot of the levels, you kind of technically only go to like 3-4 different places. You revisit a lot of places. So like the very first level, you're on the spaceship. And the very last level, you're back on that same spaceship. I mean, it's redesigned differently. Like
things are exploded.
That's what I think is kind of cool with this game. Yeah. And like same with like when you're on the Halo ring, like you're kind of going past these segments that you went through before in a previous level. But obviously things are slightly different. That's what I think is kind of cool. Like the levels are still kind of samey, but like they have such wide diversity to them that you don't realize you're kind of revisiting some locations. I loved the level designs of this game. As a kid, I don't remember like having a hard time navigating, because I remember a lot of times if you are struggling, eventually Cortana will chime in and be like, hey, go to this checkpoint. Like this is where you need to go. But yeah, some of the levels like are kind of huge and open, and they have doorways to go to hallways that literally go nowhere, which is kind of a weird design. So if you're not great with navigation like Liz, you may struggle a little bit finding your way in some of these levels. But overall, though, like as Keith said, a good amount of them are corridors, and you just kind of keep going.
I did run into that in a lot of the corridors as I'd go through it. You know, it does what even games to this day still do. It would have like a green light or a red light on the door, and you go through and there's a green light, and then there's just another door with a red light, and you're like, what? Okay, so you just turn around and it was a useless place to go. There wasn't anything in there. It was just a door that opened for no real reason.
Yeah. I mean, but what's cool about Halo is that it is always full of Easter eggs. And you can see that, I mean, not to get ahead, but with the achievements. And so some of those corridors would actually lead to like some Easter eggs. Well, like, it's like, I mean, I guess I'll talk more about it in the achievement segment. But yeah, Halo's always chock full of Easter eggs. So sometimes those corridors do lead to nothing, but sometimes a lot of times they lead to like an Easter egg.
No, and that's a good point. I mean, it's worth exploring for that reason, because if you want to find all that stuff. But it was just funny that, yeah, there'd just be plenty of like red herrings, I guess, yeah, where you'd go down an empty hall for no real reason other than just to walk down an empty hall.
And one thing I was thinking that always, even when I was younger, surprised me about Halo, there's not a lot of enemy diversity, but it's not like this game is any like harder or easier. That's one thing I loved about the difficulty with Halo. I mean, I bet you're going to disagree with this, Keith, but I felt like the difficulty was just so like well paced, because you're still just fighting grunts, you're still fighting elites, still fighting hunters, you're still fighting jackals, literally through the entire game. I mean, eventually the Flood come in, and then you got to deal with the Flood and the Covenant. But I thought the difficulty was cool, because I feel like in a lot of first-person shooters, once you get like halfway, they're like, oh, here's a big old beef boy who's a boss, but then he becomes a regular enemy, and like it just adds just beefier people that just become bullet sponges. But Halo, it's the same enemies that you're fighting.
I think it also forced me to pick my weapons differently too. Like with the Flood, like I always wanted the assault rifle. And so, I mean, now that I just started playing again by myself, I'm really liking the pistol, but I know when I get to that level, I'm going to switch back.
Yeah.
Yeah, the shotguns are definitely better on the Flood.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wait. Am I thinking the little guys?
Grunts.
No, like the little itty bitty guys.
Oh, the little Flood, yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. So I use the assault
parasites.
on and then the shotgun on the big Flood.
Yeah.
I forgot there was a big Flood.
Yeah, I mean, if you can get it quick enough, I mean, the shotgun will wipe out a whole bunch of those mini Flood too, the little confetti monsters, as I was calling them. Because even on
that's what Liz said. Liz, like, it looks like paper mache when you shoot them.
It's just kind of like, it was like the worst part of the graphics, honestly. Like everything else in the anniversary graphics look really well polished, really nice, and then there's that, and you're like, what? Okay, that's weird, but like, okay. But yeah, I mean, I guess as far as the difficulty goes, yeah, I agree. It is, but there's also like 6 enemy types at that point, and that's kind of what you face. Now it is a short game, so
it's 10 hours to beat the campaign.
Yeah, so I won't hold it against that for that reason. You know, I defend a lot of games for being short, and I'll keep it to that on this one. But yeah, not a lot of enemy diversity, which is nice because it helps with the difficulty levels. But, I mean, they just kind of throw more of them at you. And then you're just like, okay, cool. But they are cool looking. And, again, from a universe and a generation perspective of what Halo is as a whole, very good. Because they get so much better.
Yeah. So the core combat of Halo is guns, melee, grenades. Keith, did you utilize this? Because I know Liz struggled with grenades and melee. She almost never used them.
I struggled more when you were watching me when it came to the grenades. Like I would just throw it and not aim because I knew you were judging me. But as for melee, when Andrew and I first started playing the game, his controls were different than mine. And so he kept telling me to hit these buttons for melee, and it took me like a couple levels to actually like figure out what it was because I was just in the game and then I'd be like, crap, what's melee? And I never figured it out. So eventually I figured it out. But that's why I didn't use melee that much.
Yeah, I didn't use a whole lot of melee. And I know that it's useful, but I didn't like how it played in this, so I really just didn't do a lot of it. But I was also, again, just going up against a lot of Flood, and it's effectively useless against those tiny ones.
Yeah, melee's not good against Flood, but grenades are.
Right, and so grenades I was using a lot. And I felt like pretty effectively, honestly, because again, I'm running down corridors, I'm like bouncing them off walls ahead of me where I know I'm going to run into them. So I was like using them effectively, but then I just get exploded by a grunt that was standing on the other end of the hall and throw a grenade at them, and I didn't realize. Or just one of the big explodey brain ones would explode, and then I just die in one hit. So didn't do great from that aspect, but I did utilize grenades. Yes, big fan of them.
What difficulty did you play on, Keith?
I was just on normal. Yep. I'm not proud of it.
Struggle busting a normal.
Not proud of it, but it's fact.
See, I love Halo has 4 difficulty levels: easy, normal, hard, and legendary. For me, I always found normal to be like too easy. I think hard is like normal. So like when Liz is like, "Oh, are we gonna play on easy?" I'm like, "No, can we please not do easy?" I was like, "It takes like 20 bullets to kill you." Like I was like, "It's not fun. It's just too easy." And so we did normal, and yeah, we just breezed through it. I mean, granted,
We died a bunch of times, but a lot of it
if
was
we died, it was
grenades.
yeah,
or
it was like
falling
a
off.
chain reaction of grenades,
Yeah.
or getting hit in the face with the rocket launcher.
Well,
Yeah.
that'll happen to you too.
That'll do it.
But I don't know. I'm sure it was more difficult than it needed to be for me. I know that for a fact. I was getting to a point where I was just so irritated with it, and I'm spoiled by fluid movement in a first-person shooter, so that when I felt like I was just moving in mud constantly, and the AI in this game, I feel like even on normal, they're like a 99% hit accuracy. Like there's no dodging them because you can't do much other than just run at them or run away from them. And it was just irritating the crap out of me.
But I liked that they were actually like kind of intelligent.
Oh, yeah.
I liked that they would hide behind rocks and
Yeah,
stuff.
dive away from grenades,
which made it more
and all that.
challenging. Yeah. And I also want to point out too that like when it came to like the fluidity of the game, I thought the controls were so backwards.
Mm-hmm.
Like the grenades. That left trigger is usually like aiming and stuff. So I would hit it to aim on accident all the time.
Yeah.
And then I'd throw a grenade and be like, crap, I need to run. And same with like the melee earlier. It's like right bumper or something weird. Like it's so backwards to what I would expect. And so that's why
Right bumper
I
was
struggle with
reload
that
for
too.
me. Like, and I'm sure I could have changed them.
Right bumper was reload for me.
But like
I think X was
Reload for
reload.
you.
Yeah. So, but it just like the controls also affected my gameplay too because I just kept forgetting that grenades were left trigger.
So you got to remember, this game came in 2001. So this is original Xbox, and the original Xbox had a completely different controller.
It didn't have bumpers,
So
right?
this game was it had a black and white button instead of bumpers. So the controls were trying to transfer to this new controller to try to be like equivalent to what it was.
I mean, I will say like we in games in the past, like I do struggle like with a weird control setup. I don't really get used to it throughout the game. I'd have to put in probably like double the hours we did, but we beat the game and I don't really want to play it fully again. So yeah, it'd probably take me like double the time to actually get used to it.
You could customize the controller pretty well. So you could have adjusted it to what you really wanted if you wanted to dig more into it. I have it set to just kind of a universal control to work through like a lot of the Halos because the controls do change between the games. So like that's why for me it's like mine was different from yours. But yeah, like to go back, I love the AI in this game. The AI is still incredibly impressive, especially for a game 2001. Like the AI is really smart. As I said, the aliens have like a hierarchy. You know, you have the grunts who are essentially cannon fodder. Then you have like the jackals that are specialists. Then you have like the elites, which are essentially like the commanders. And it was cool that like if you kill people in the hierarchy, like if you kill the elite, a lot of the morale of the enemies will, you know, drop and they'll just start screaming and running around. You know, they'll hide behind cover. They cower from grenades. Or if you actually stick them with a grenade, they'll actually try to run towards you to try to take you out with them. Like the AI was actually really smart in this game, and it still holds up really well.
The grunts were kind of cute. I sometimes when they ran and they were waving their arms, I felt bad about killing them.
Oh, they get it more adorable as Halo games go on. They start to say like funnier things.
Why? I don't think I would like that at all.
No, they're still evil, but like they say kind of funnier things, especially with Halo Infinite, what they just came out with. They have some of the best lines. That's really funny. But a cool thing too about Halo, like I absolutely love the difficulties, as I've said. I think the legendary difficulty is a lot of fun in Halo. It is such a challenge, but it's a lot of fun. But one thing that I always enjoyed about Halo is the skulls that they have. So with Halo Master Chief Collection, there's actually a whole like scoring campaign where you can compare your score with your friends, and then you can add skulls to the equation. And some of them are super fun and cheeky, and then some are incredibly hard. You know, as Liz said, we always did the grunt birthday party, which is always so fun when you have little kids going, yay, every time you shoot a grunt in the head. But you could have like unlimited grenades, or grenades explode more, or enemies drop more grenades or throw more grenades. I love the skulls. I think I don't know. There's so much about Halo Combat Evolved I think just still holds up so well today.
That's why I feel bad I'm not a better gamer. Because, I felt like if I was a good gamer, we could have had a lot more fun with the game.
I mean, I had a lot of fun. I always have fun playing with Halo. I am surprised anytime I ever play co-op with people, this always happens with me and my friends. Like, someone will actually throw a grenade and kill your friend. And then your friend goes, well, I'm going to retaliate. And then they kill you. And then you kill them. And then you kill them. And it just ends up becoming this vicious cycle of you killing each other.
We don't really, I know, I should be...
and you killed me a lot.
bit ruder with it. I know, on accident, but I'm like that with my sister.
Yeah.
And when I used to play games with my brother, like I can be that way.
I could be petty.
Yeah, I should be more petty when I play games with you. I'll remind you that you said that to me.
Next time we play.
Yeah, I do. I don't know. I remember playing this multiplayer, and I didn't get a chance to see this go about. But I think it's way more fun that way. I don't know. Again, the newer Halos are just where I would go to. Is I think my biggest thing. But I'll summarize all that later.
Because multiplayer, like playing co-op, is like super easy in this game. Because if one person dies, the other person just has to run away, and it instantly spawns your partner back. So like you always kind of had a safety net. Like if you're playing single player, if you die, you have to go back to a checkpoint. But in co-op, nope. Spawn your teammate, you're good. And like the enemies don't get any more difficult, or there's not more enemies playing co-op. So you literally have double the firepower. So yeah, co-op is just a lot of fun. I recommend it. I know we touched a bit about it, but what did you guys think of the overall graphics? Did you prefer original or new?
It's tough because, well, now I'm realizing that maybe playing the new graphics, I was hurting myself, I guess. I don't know. But I definitely preferred the new graphics. I thought they were very nice, and it made the game feel better. But I don't think they were bad on the old ones. I was like, oh wow, yeah, I forgot that's actually what it looked like. I remember it looking better than it actually did, and that was what surprised me.
I really liked going back and forth, and I actually thought
it's a cool feature.
Yeah, and sometimes I think that the old graphics would be better with it depended if it was like too light or too dark. And so if I was having trouble seeing, I would just switch to the other one, and usually it was substantially better. And so I felt like sometimes the graphics were better with the old when it came to actual combat. So yeah, for me, it was just like a constant back and forth. And I also was like, oh, there's cutscenes coming up, but do I want to see them in new or old? So I really enjoyed them. And I think that the newer graphics, I thought they would be a little bit better. Wait, when was it done?
2011.
Oh, never mind. I think they're good for 2011. Yeah.
I will say, as I said before, I think I mostly played OG. I did original graphics, and I think it looks better. I like original graphics. I will say the one thing that the Anniversary Collection did really well with the graphics is the environments. Playing the environments in original Halo, it is bland and flat and with like no textures. So I at least appreciate that. I like to go and switch from that and like seeing like, oh, nice textures. These halls will actually look a little bit more, interesting and not just like a flat purple everywhere or a flat gray. But the character models in the original Halo, I think are so much better, except for the humans. I always thought the human soldiers looked so goofy. They literally look like someone who went to like a Comic-Con convention with like the cheapest cosplay ever. They're literally like slabs of like sheet metal for armor is like what their armor looks like. It looks so stupid. I hated the humans armor in the original Halo. But that's it. Besides that, I think the grunts, the jackals, the hunters, like all the aliens look so good, the original character models. Master Chief, honestly, his armor doesn't look too much different from original and new.
I also think the movement was really good. Like the way that the enemies were swaying and stuff. I said earlier, like at the very beginning, that I've seen some really bad graphics of games that have come out in the past year or two. So knowing how old this game is, I'm like, wow, they could do a lot back then.
Yeah. But the next thing I really want to talk about
is
the music. Halo is honestly, hands down, I think
just epic.
It is the best soundtrack. I absolutely love Halo's soundtrack. It is so iconic. It was kicking in all the time too. When the battle's kicking in and the music's pumping, so good. Halo's soundtrack is so good.
Yeah, I have no argument there. That's something that is and forever will be a fact, is that Halo really set the bar, I feel like, in terms of like video game soundtracks.
Oh, yeah.
And so
Just in the main menu.
yeah, and just like the environments and like how it picks up during fights and like where it kicks in and all these things, like it does a fantastic job. And the sounds are even really good for the most part. Like the grunt noises, maybe sometimes like if you have like a really big fight, it might get a little annoying listening to the same noises, but outside of that, like the soundscape is good, the music is good, zero complaints about that. And that stands alone for literally every single Halo. That's something that didn't need to improve over time. It just started at Combat Evolved.
Yeah. Oh, it's so good. See, I think the sound is still really good. I'm not crazy about the assault rifle because it's a 60 bullet clip, and that sound effect's kind of annoying. But yeah, I'm just not a big fan of the assault rifle. But besides that, the alien weapons going off, hearing the Banshee flying over your head as it's doing like a strafing run, the just like the grunt noises, the elites, I just love the sound effects and the music in this game. It is like a 10 out of 10 for me.
For me, I did like the music. I thought it was great. I didn't get that like feeling though from it. You know, you know how you get that certain feeling from like music that you really, really, really love. So I liked it. I loved it. I appreciated it when it was switching in the game. I was like, oh, this is cool. This is cool. So for me, I'm not like, you know, as pumped and jazzed as you are.
I'm going to start playing it on Spotify. And then you're going to be like, this is a great jam.
And be like, I'm going to make Liz change her mind.
But yeah, and so far as the achievements go, I don't recommend it for achievement hunters. I mean, if you're playing the Master Chief Collection, the entire collection, I think, is 7,000 gamer score. So each game has a little over 1,000, I think, each, because there is 5 games. Yes. I always keep forgetting.
Math.
No, there's 6. There's 6 games. So yeah, they're a little over 1,000 each, but the achievements overall are pretty, they're actually kind of fun. The way you can kind of you can't just do the jewel button and pull up achievements and there's achievements. Now you actually have to dig through menus if you're looking for like a specific game achievement. So I don't think the interface is great when you're looking, but the achievements overall are pretty fun. Like you have some fun ones to do. Like in the Truth and Reconciliation, the 3rd level, you know, can you take out all the enemies in the very first area without getting detected? You're like, that's an achievement. There's a lot of Easter egg achievements, like I mentioned. On the Assault in the Control Room level, if you steal a Banshee, you fly up to the top of this structure and you have to stand on a specific spot, and it actually starts like a piano like solo for a different song, which is also a very great song, but it's an achievement to find this hidden song. On the very last level, when you're running through with the Warthog, I forgot to mention too, Halo has seriously one of the best last levels in any game too. The obstacle course of you driving on the Warthog, I loved so much. But yeah, there's a hidden Easter egg there where you find a grunt who's hidden in a corner and he's talking about how thirsty he is. There's just really fun, goofy Easter eggs in this game.
See, I feel like they're actually kind of, you do have to look them up. They don't come about like naturally, I feel like.
Yeah, some are pretty hard to find.
For me, like I tend to like achievements that, you know, I just get a lot and I don't even have to think about it. But
well, that's the great thing about the Master Chief Collection. There's numerous achievements that span across all the games. So killing a X amount of enemies or playing X amount of missions. So like I feel like anytime I just boot up the Master Chief Collection, I'm usually just getting 1 or 2 achievements.
Well, with these achievements, I think this game is meant to be played like multiple times with friends and stuff. Because like some of the achievements, like I mean, I wouldn't expect to get all of them through like one go.
Oh, absolutely not.
But so I mean, it's also factoring that.
Yeah, I mean the game is sort of meant to be played through multiple times. I feel like just the way the progressiveness of the difficulties are. Unless you're just someone who picks up and always puts something on the hardest difficulty, then I guess that takes a lot of the achievements out of it. Because, correct me if I'm wrong, this is one of those, like, if you play it on normal, it counts as doing it on easy too?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, like, you're going to knock out a way more if you start on that hardest difficulty. But if you go into these games sort of blindly and just say, hey, I'm going to play this light and take it slow, then you kind of plan to play it through multiple times.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of these, you got to play it multiple times because it's like beating the game on Legendary, then doing a mission with literally all the skulls on. Like, you're not going to be beating the entire campaign on Legendary with all the skulls on. Like, there's a lot of achievements that are just crazy hard. And then, of course, they have, every time you're beating a level, there's a score, a par score you got to beat to get an achievement. And then there's also a par time you got to beat to get an achievement. I don't know. I think the achievements in Halo are just a lot of fun. It's just a lot of you trying to do better on certain levels, and I really like that a lot.
It was created back in the day when they really cared about achievements. I think that there's something to be said for that. Like now, so
No, because this was original Xbox. They didn't have achievements then.
well,
So this is an anniversary collection thing was added with the
I'm
achievements.
still gonna say it's early enough on in like the achievement lifespan where they were just like they paid good attention and they did good things with it. Now you have things like you might not have a par score or part time. That's like a Halo thing, very much I think. But like, there's things that like feel like they should be achievements, but they aren't in games because they're just like, oh, here's beating every level and like trying to kill 100 enemies with this certain type of weapon. There's no like try to do fun things like there used to be.
Yeah.
Like it's something you complain about a lot, and I agree with you on.
Yeah, I love when achievements are just fun. So yeah, this game has fun achievements. They're just not worth for achievement hunters. All right. So wrapping up here to our final thoughts. As I said, I'm trying really hard not to like see this game. I'm trying to see if I've never played this game and I just started Halo, but still, I just love this game. It's still just so much fun. Even if I feel like I didn't play any of the Halo games or read the books, I still just have a ton of fun. I think the gameplay is still very solid.
I feel like it should reflect in your score because you are a hardcore gamer. You of course have played the other games, so I mean, I don't think you should feel bad about
All right.
looking at it from the collective.
So story overall, I think is really good. I will say the storytelling kind of shows its age. Some of the transitions are kind of disjointed, and some of the dialogues aren't that great. I think the voice acting, we forgot to kind of mention a little bit more too with the actual humans. I think the voice acting still holds up really well.
Yeah.
I think the gameplay is still a lot of fun. It feels slow with today's standards of games, but I think there's such fun, iconic, big moments in this game when you're getting in the tank, when you're getting in the Warthog, when you're on doing the silent cartographer and you're landing on the beach with a bunch of human Marines and you're fighting up the beachhead. Like it just has these fun, epic gameplay moments that I think still hold up really well. If you played some of the newer Halo games and skipped Halo 1, I think you could be a little jaded as like how the game plays. That's why I wanted to do this first before we jumped into any other Halos. I was hoping you guys could understand, where the game came from and where it started. But yeah, I think the gameplay is still solid. The music, as I said, voice acting is 10 out of 10 for me. I love the sound effects and the music. It's awesome. For me, I'm giving it a 90. I think it still holds up really well. And I still had a lot of fun with this game. I love the co-op.
So I don't know. I know I gave this a pass, or I don't actually know if I even said it was a pass, but I'm still sticking with that. And I'm going purely on, I don't think that the Halo games have changed enough that unless you really, really want to deep dive Halo, like if you want to engage the Halo series, absolutely. If you just want to play Halo, but you want to play a modern game and you want to just, I don't know, you're not fully invested in everything that it has to offer, I don't think you need to go back and play this. And that's where, for me, someone who, I don't have anything against Halo, I can see why people love it. I remember what games were like back then. I think it was incredible for where its time was, but I just don't think it's worth going back and playing unless you truly want to involve yourself in Halo. So for that's why I give it a pass. And I think if we get into the later games, you're going to hear me change a lot on my tones on this. But it's an 80 because it's hard for me to give it a bad score, but I don't ever really want to go back and play this again.
Well, and I feel bad because I was going to give it a 78.
Really?
Because it's a good game. It's weird. So when I was playing with Andrew, I had fun. I think it was more the fact that I was just playing a game with you that I was enjoying it more.
Oh, you just like the time we spend together.
Yeah, but going back to the game and playing by myself and looking at it from that perspective. And then, I wanted more with the story as well. And there are little things. Like the graphics are good. They're not great. I enjoyed them, but
they're old.
And same with driving the car. And I think my biggest thing that I liked about the game was the way that the AI hid and moved, and they were really fluid. And I really liked a lot of gameplay aspects. And the music was obviously great, but yeah, I also think that's a good stepping stone for the other games, because the way that you guys are talking, they get way better. Am I right?
Yeah.
Am I right? Okay. So looking at Metacritic, Looking at the 360, 82 and 8.1. And our fourth and silent co-host is back, guys. So I feel like I shouldn't ask you guys to guess his score because I think Andrew was sneaking a peek.
No,
when we were saying.
I don't know
You
what it is.
didn't?
No.
You didn't? Okay.
I'm actually going to guess.
It's out of 10, right? Okay,
Yeah.
I have to remember. You start. I want to know.
I'm guessing a 4.
I can't go that. I'm going to say 3.
It's a 4.
Oh!
I
He
think
did
that
peek.
you
He
looked.
peeked.
I didn't look.
He
I
did.
I saw him
I
looking.
swear I didn't
I
look.
saw him looking.
Were you looking at me?
You should.
Because you were looking over
Always
here.
will.
What am I
Looking
not
at
looking
Liz.
at you?
So I'm going to read the whole thing because it's been so long, and why not?
Wait. Does he say Turtlebot?
These are his mature years.
Oh, yeah.
So,
This is.
I mean,
yeah,
I think it's like
his
the opposite
mature
of most
years.
people, where it just like he's become more and more jaded and more vulgar in his speaking. Yeah, he did not age like a fine wine. 2017. I'm sure he's a great person. That was a joke. It's a bit more than just a HD Halo. 343 Industries did a great job of converting the 360. So much so that it looks as good as a Halo Reach, that is. The most beautiful Halo, or the least ugly, it depends, made by Bungie. But the surgeon does not perform miracles, and age remains whatever you do. I love phrases from other languages. It's so eloquent. It's hard to understand nowadays the enthusiasm that such a series has aroused because the first episode accumulates design and playability errors. Entire rooms copied, pasted, environments that repeat themselves endlessly, back and forth until nausea. It's like being on a metro line without station names, so everything looks alike. In this regard, the level of the library is unbearable.
I hate that level. That is like the worst level.
All the more unbearable that to further extend the lifespan, which did not need it, Bungie shamelessly throws hordes and hordes of enemies to the dregs. It becomes gruesome. The Halo universe remains a nice space opera. The music is excellent, the VF correct, but frankly, its heaviness and awkwardness do not even make it an average game in the end. Times change, and what we forgave the era no longer passes today.
That actually is like a legitimate review
Yeah.
from him.
I know.
I'm impressed with that. I feel like I agree with him on so many levels. It was way better said
But I
than what I
feel
had, though.
I feel like a lot of people agreed with you, Keith, that this game was hugely influential, but you can just skip it. That's what so many people said, including a critic that gave it a 50. But I'm really curious what our listeners had to say about this game. Because you actually posted before the game
He
this week, right?
remembered.
Yeah.
Andrew gets
I've been
Andrew gets 2 cookies
I like that
this
I'm
week.
teasing about this, but he does like all the editing, and he's really good at responding to people. He pretty much like just
I literally do
carries-
everything, and if
yeah.
I miss one thing, it's
Yeah.
like held against me. Like I am the worst.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I just think it's funny. You do everything, and I'm like, you don't always post this.
Yeah. He needs to be held responsible for his actions and their lack thereof as well.
I should also note real quick that translation, it was from French to English, so like hopefully it doesn't sound too janky. I tried my best.
No, it sounded actually like a legitimate, and I don't even mean like it sounded like it was written in English, whereas most of them are just riddled with turds, and it's hard to translate.
So we only had one of our listeners, Javier from Nerd Talk Plus. He said he's never beaten any of the other Halos, but as far as feedback on Halo 1, he found the experience very fun, most due to playing the whole thing online with his friend Jose, and he plans on beating the rest of this series, and he gives Halo 1 8 out of 10 propaganda grunts.
So see, and
Which is kind of funny.
Javier's a good example because he's someone who he wanted to embrace it like as it is, and I think also playing with a friend is a huge difference. Something I definitely didn't do this time around, but that's what I'm saying is if you want to experience it, by all means go play this. But if you just want to play Halo, go play a new Halo.
I just think with a lot of the Halos, I think you'll be lost in a lot of context. But
Again,
I don't know.
You can go back and find it if you really want. It's not that difficult.
I mean, if we do Halo 2, I think you guys will like Halo 2 a lot.
I know for a fact I will, because I again, just remembering the carbine is back already makes me happy. Yeah. And also the BR
and the battle rifle.
So like I'm already way more into that because those are just better guns.
But yes, I forgot to mention the people who requested this game. So thank you so much to Sawyer, Matthew, Clark, and Javier for recommending that we play Halo the Master Chief Collection. So as I said, if you want us to continue doing more Halo games, I want 6 different people. I mean, these same 6 people can write, but I want 6 people saying, they want us to continue the series. And then after that, we're going to be upping the number. So we want to hear from you guys who want us to keep doing more Halo games. But I think that's going to do it for us. So please email us at gamepassgrabbag@gmail.com. We are on Facebook at GBGB. And we're at Twitter, GBGBpod. So please come by, say hi, give us some game recommendations. We always love hearing from you guys. I've been your hardcore gamer, Sandra. You can find me on Xbox Live at Firebird01952.
I've been Keith, and just to really tack on to Andrew's point, if you want to make sure we do more Halos, share it with your friends on Facebook. Say, hey, let's hear what these folks have to say about some more Halo. Get your.
It's probably not really good.
Yeah, it's probably not great, but definitely tell your friends. But also make them listen to at least one episode.
And I'm Liz Noob, gamertab come on dude, and I'm on Twitter at Liz Noob NoobBusyW. I really struggled saying that.
Yeah, and I keep forgetting to mention. Please go to our Facebook because I keep posting the games on there. If you please give us a review of the games that we're playing, we will read on the podcast. We love to hear from our listeners what they think of the games we're playing.
What do we feel like if we go back and write us a review for a game that we've already reviewed? Will we read those ones?
Yes, I will read them.
I mean, I read them personally, but
out loud.
Yeah, we'll read them on because go back and review an old one that we've done. Don't feel ashamed.
Keith will have a segment at the end where he reads all reviews. I love it.
This isn't going back and accidentally liking your ex's posts or something like that. Go back and comment on one of our old ones. That's fine too.
I love this Keith segment that we're creating.
I'm fine with it. I'm all about it.
I love it.
It can go right on with hashtag Keith reviews.
I mean, Keith has tried to start like 20 different segments, and none of them have stuck. Let's be honest.
I think this one is gonna stick.
That's gonna depend on our listeners. So I'm putting that
Keith,
on them.
maybe you should leave your Twitter handle so people can tweet you personally and be like,
what
hey,
even is it? I think it's just my name.
Keith Lynch 121.
Yeah,
that's it.
Is that right?
That's it. Hashtag Keith reviews.
Or you can go to any of ours, Game Pass Twitter, and I think you follow Game Pass Twitter, so
yeah, I'm there.
Go to the people that follow Game Pass Twitter. How many times can I say Game Pass Twitter?
I don't know. Too much. All right, let's wrap this up. Thank you all so much for joining. We love you all. We'll see you again next week.
Bye, guys.